We are back, ace runners, for the 2023 Des Moines Challenge. This is round 1, back 9 coverage. This tournament is presented by Discraft and it is being held at Pickard Park in Indianola, Iowa. Calling the shots for this Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite event are myself, Connor O'Reilly, joined in the booth by Holly Finley.
Absolutely love being here. I've been playing this course since about 2012 when it was called the Des Moines Challenge, and we played all 4 courses in 2 days. Let's check out this top 10 leaderboard. Emily Beach holding down the top spot. Holyn Handley after an incredible front 9 in second, and look at that tie in the 3rd spot.
Starting off the back 9 with a par 5. 278 feet. We saw a tee pad change on this one. We shifted back into the left just a little bit, but enough to change the angle. If you can get around here with your second shot, you'll lend yourself to a short, flat to overstable backhand approach into this newly carved out green. Not newly carved out, but newly positioned green for the FPL field. It's a good par 5 to try to score on, but also has some danger.
Off the tee, you really need to decide where do you want to land. I prefer the left side, which is a bit more flat and not as much of an uphill run-up, but the more common route is this right side. I'd say it's the largest gap off the tee. Holyn Handley with the sidearm. She's now safe on the left side. Kat Mertsch just going straight up the gut, but she does not make it past the trees.
Birdie's going to be tough from there.
Valerie taking the most common route, that biggest gap on the right side, cuts it a little inside.
That's what I was thinking.
Hits that biggest tree to beat right there at the end. Drops down to a spot she can still birdie if she throws a good second though.
Hailey King takes the middle gap, and she has made it safe out of the treed area. And on the second shot, you just want to keep it in bounds.
Oh no.
Hopefully that is in bounds. No, you didn't.
I think you're safe.
Kat pushed that right at the out of bounds. Looks like she narrowly avoids a disaster on that kind of sloppy second shot.
That hay bale is out of bounds. The out of bounds actually goes around the front of it. And Mandujano sends her second shot over the crest of the hill, and if you make it over the crest, then that's a pretty good shot. That'll set you up well for birdie. You can use this giant tree as sort of a visual, whether you want to land to the left or the right, which will give you different shaped shots into the green.
Yeah, as long as you can get up there around the same distance as the trunk, you shouldn't have the low ceiling of the tree to deal with, but if you are short, it can make it a trickier upshot. Hailey playing this one very well so far, going to have a wide open backhand shot into the green.
Now, I swore I saw the out of bounds went around the front of the hay bale when I was in practice. Did you look at that?
I haven't been over on that side of this hole. Actually, I've been playing way down the right side of the fairway.
Now, that's really making me question.
I wish I knew, though, because...
Really making me question what I was looking at. I'm going to have to check that out tomorrow. So Kat Mertsch played from behind the hay bale, which appeared to be safe. I'll have to get back to you tomorrow. Valerie Mandujano has pinned her upshot. I'm talking a drop in. She doesn't even have to take her bag off. And the precision of this upshot is really something. And Holyn Handley, she doesn't get it. She sends hers early left, looks to be out of bounds.
Yeah, a little soft out of the hand.
Yeah, you got to take your time and line this up because it can get away from you quick. Whew, King pushes hers long. She's safe though.
Cat going with the polecat.
Cat with the polecat.
Getting a little cute with it, pushing it long, but that'll be no problem. Come back for her par.
And Holyn after only one blemish on the front nine.
Actually, that might be bogey for Mertsch.
Unable to connect her putt after sending that upshot OB. And King, she's back on the birdie train.
Holyn in for bogey after that error on the upshot. Cat does indeed clean up par there.
Valerie taking a birdie, and that puts her at 4 under par, as well as Holyn Handley. Mertsch at 3 under par, and Hailey King sitting at 2 over after a rough front 9. Let's check out hole 11. This is actually the drop zone for the men. The women will play this nice tunnel shot. A lot of conservative players will land a little bit past this tee around here and possibly send a fairway or even another driver into the green. More powered players will make it out of the gap, leaving themselves with a shorter upshot, able to utilize a putter, possibly a putt and approach, to give themselves a birdie 3. The danger here is kicking left or right and having to waste a stroke on a pitch out. Mandujano up first. Good looking shot, landing safe between the 2 walls of trees. Looks like she'll be able to attack for birdie.
Yeah, this shot takes a lot of trust. So thick on the right and on the left.
Cat looks to be in the woods on the right. We'll see if she'll have an actual shot to get it up into the green or have to pitch out. Holyn Handley up third.
Great looking angle here. Gonna check on the hill. Yeah, that'll be a standstill putter, most likely backhand from there.
Ideal shot from Holyn Handley. Ooh, and Mertsch has gone into Narnia.
I believe there's an out of bounds line down on the creek that kind of winds down in there, but there's some space.
A nice little pitch out from her. Excellent. And she can still save par from there. It's important to keep a positive frame of mind when things aren't going your way. You can see Kat sent that upshot into Narnia, but she still comes out in a good mood. Oh, looks like that one might have got caught up on her forefinger or something. She's still smiling though. It's still a long putt, you know, she could still get a putt in from there, but it's looking like bogey might be an option.
Yeah, and we see that DNF for Hailey King. We don't know whether there's an injury or something going on, but last week's champ not gonna complete this tournament.
And Holyn sends her upshot into the bullseye, and she will have a drop-in birdie. And this is Mertsch looking to save par. And gets caught up on the twiglets. Putting for bogey. Oh no, this hole's just stole her lunch money.
Yeah, been a little bit of a funk this hole. I wonder if Hailey kind of put a little weird vibe on how Kat was feeling, just trying to kind of make sure she was feeling okay, gave away some of her energy, got a little sloppy on the hole. We know Kat will bounce back though.
Holyn Handley gets a birdie here on the 11th. And Kat Mertsch, unfortunately, gonna have to settle for a double. And Valerie able to capture a birdie 3, and as Connor said, Hailey King settling for a DNF, which means it did not finish. She is dropping out of the Des Moines Challenge.
Missy taking the risk.
Hole 12 is a par 3 at 260 feet. One of the key features of this hole is this double mandatory you'll see right here. The shot slopes down throughout the entire flight, but depending on the route you want to take, these low-hanging branches are kind of going to get in your way if you really want to put this one close. If you can hit near that little rock wall though, you'll get a bit of a jump up, or you'll just bury yourself into it for a circle's edge putt. Hole 12 is definitely playing as a tougher birdie to get. Fourth hardest hole on the course, and there we see Hailey getting carted off. Thanks to all the tournament staff helping make the Des Moines Challenge happen. They've been working hard year round to make this course look the best it ever has and play the best it ever has.
Another great feature we have out here is coolers almost every third hole with ice cold water. It's about 90 this weekend, so that's just a bonus that us as players and athletes really appreciate. Valerie Mandujano's drive is up there in the circle, and she'll have a putt on this elevated basket here on the 12th.
Kind of interesting to me that hole 3 we play MPO FPO, same exact hole. Hole 12, third hole, the back 9 we play the same as well. And Holyn pushing deep on that forehand. Gonna be an obstructed look for birdie. Kind of an ace run there.
As Connor said, you can simply throw this shot down right at that rock wall, just like Kat did, and look at that, she skipped all the way up to the tower.
We told y'all she'd bounce back, and looks like she's already gonna do it here on the next hole. True champ.
Holyn has another proposal putt. She does not like the limb in her face, and she instantly pitches it up. She'll settle for par. Also asking for permission to tap. And all the away players must go first, so because she went out of order, that's why she's asking her card mates for permission. Mandujano sinking a birdie here on hole 12.
Yeah, whatever white mid-range that is, she's been playing it really well on a multitude of angles, showing off her ability to manipulate whatever disc to get what she wants, to do what she wants it to.
That's a turkey here on the back 9 for Valerie. And Kat Mertsch will pick up a birdie here on the 12th. It's good to see after getting that double on the previous hole. It's pretty quick here on the back 9 after Hailey has left the group. This will be a threesome. Let's check out hole 13. A par 3, 333 feet. I bet you really like all those threes, don't you?
We're one number away, Holly.
This is another one of my favorite shots on the course. I do not take the route the drone is flying. However, that is a great forehand route. The number one goal here is get to right about here. If you try too hard, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Some players will just settle for a 3 here because they find this shot shape to be a little difficult. I like to go between the trees in the middle, try to get as close as I can, and see if I can get a birdie putt. Mandujano hits one of the pencil trees and makes it only a quarter of the way down the fairway.
Mertsch going back to that same mid-range.
And she's gone between the 2 trees in the middle that I like, and it's a little short, but she can still get par from there.
Holyn playing forehand, likely just straight up the gut. Trying to hit a flat angle, and if she can hit the gap, depending on the ground play, she might be close. Oh no, she's going for that intermediate wide hyzer with her power.
And
Yeah.
that'll work. Because this is an elevated basket, you won't see a lot of players taking an aggressive run at this.
Grenade out of Mandujano.
Wow.
Pushed it a little bit deep, still going to be scrambling from there. Maybe something she's been working on, just trying to bust it out.
Mertsch looking for a little chip shot, getting as close to the tower as possible. And the tree helps her do just that. She'll have a 15-foot putt for par. Mandujano looking to save a bogey at this point. That's going to be a long bogey putt, but her putting's been incredible today.
Yeah, not the putt you want for 4, but if I got to take a player the way she's been playing today to make that putt, she might be the one.
And Holyn's sitting on a great round due to her incredible front nine, so she pitches this one up. Valerie gives that a long run, but trickles out right side. Now she's looking at a comeback double.
13's a tough one, but definitely not one that you want to take a double bogey on, especially for Valerie at that clean 6 down she had working. First mistake of the round for her in a big way.
And there was only one birdie in all of the women's division today. Our #1 female player in the world, current world champion, Kristin Tattar.
I'm guessing she probably played that forehand, maybe on the same line as Holyn. In hole 14, this one, definitely one of my favorite holes on the course. Kind of an open placement shot here off the tee, 606 feet. If you can get far enough, you can open up your ceiling on this approach, or if you can push it left or right, depending on the angle you like to throw through a tight gap, that'll give you an advantage. Sticky grass doesn't allow you to get a ton of ground play coming in here, so it is a narrow height window on this approach, and it's a hole that just takes 2 really good shots to birdie.
You really want to push your tee shot to the right and let it swing back left and land in the middle of the fairway. That'll give you a nice open approach to attack for birdie.
Yeah, if you can hug that right side tree line the whole way and fade just in front of it, you're probably going to be very happy. Left can work as well, but you're going to have to get a little more creative and maybe have a forehand. Or just blast a hyzer.
Kat and Holyn both in good positions in the fairway, as well as Mandujano.
Looks like maybe a slower disc out of Valerie there. Held the line very well and settled up gently.
It's about 330 into the pin from here. And Valerie makes it safely over the out of bounds area. She'll have a long circle 2 putt for birdie.
Last year we saw shots landing around where Valerie's did really scoot up to that circle's edge almost every time. That green grass this year, though, really making this approach much harder than in the years past.
Holyn in an elite landing position, giving herself a perfect opportunity to send it all the way into the green.
Stays nice and low to give herself just that little smidgen of extra height and clears to pin high. 25, 28 feet.
Mertsch playing the hole for par. Mandujano for birdie. Holyn for birdie 3 from about 30 feet. Oh, and there's the flag again. That saved her. That could have been a long comeback. It's not quite the putting we've seen out of Holyn on the front 9. There it is.
Only 16% birdie. 7 players on the day here on 14. None for our feature card.
I really enjoy this hole as well. Fun tee shot, fun up shot, very rewarding birdie.
The Challenger is consistent not only on the putting green, but also throwing as an approach disc. With the Challenger, you're getting a really straight flight, whether it be 5 feet or 120 feet. You can just really spin it and trust that it's just gonna hold right where you aim.
Here we are on hole 15, a par 4 coming in at 550 feet. You've got out of bounds in the back wall, you can see indicated by the white stakes, as well following along the left of the fairway. Tee shots will land up high on the hill, preferably past that tree. the basket is actually blind. It's going to be this red one. We have a new pin position this year. About a 300-foot upshot, a 300-foot drive, 250-foot upshot, and you've got yourself a birdie 3.
If you can clear that low-hanging branch that Cat just got past, this upshot's going to be much simpler than if you find yourself back behind. And a 38% birdie on the day. These players looking to position themselves somewhere inside the circle.
Cat and Holyn with the perfect drive, getting up to the top of the hill and going left of that tree. Really set yourself up nicely for birdie. All right, Mandujano's second shot.
Looks to be playing fairway driver in here.
And the discs just start to get left really quickly, so you have to send your upshot really far to the right side of the fairway. Let the disc hyzer back in.
Yeah, definitely a hole you want to land on that right side of circle's edge, or depending on the speed. Cat going something slower and flat there. Nestles up pretty quick. A little bit high out of Holyn.
It is a bit high.
Wow.
Oh, look at that bush. What a friend.
All it takes is 4 feet of penetration into the bush line there, and she probably loses an opportunity at birdie.
Cat Mertsch looking at a birdie 3 here on the 15th. She gets it. That'll put her at 3 under par. Holyn getting another birdie here on the back 9. And that'll put her at 6 under par. She's got a really strong round going. Mandujano also getting a birdie. That's 3 for 3 here on the 15th.
Our first triangle frame of the season, Holly. Hopefully at the last.
Triangle frame.
15, third easiest hole in the course. 3 birdies for our chase feature card. Hole 16 is a par 3, 315 feet. Definitely one of the memorable ones out here. Very unique and specific shot. Gotta be on a hyzer angle out of the hand unless you're playing something kind of slow, flat, super under or overstable. You need this one to fade healthily and land. Maybe check it somewhere 40 feet short and get a little skip down to the basket. A lot of shots that air themselves to this green will find themselves skipping into that long out of bounds creek.
Mertsch up first.
No.
Unfortunately, she lands inbounds and then rolls out of bounds into the creek. She could still save par from there.
Holyn going for a zone. A lot more hyzer than Mertsch, but this one is early and left.
Got left way too quick. She barely made it into the shadows.
That upshot doesn't require a lot of power, but it can be tricky. That out of bounds is close, and there's a lot of up and down distance between you and the basket from there.
Valerie gets caught up and only makes it about halfway down.
I thought that was too high, but I thought it was too straight. I was like, oh.
Love the enthusiasm here from our female athletes. Holyn Handley looking to scramble for par. Oh, that needs to get left. And she has sent it out of bounds. I hate to see that here. It's just so easy to get away from you. I mean, you barely have to just let go of the disc and it's going to be down there at the basket.
Yeah.
At Valerie, I mean, she just did a little pitch up. Cat Mertsch rolled out of bounds, but she's close enough that she could actually save par.
Out of bounds, only 12 feet long of the basket here.
Valiant effort, but no connection for her. She'll have to settle for a bogey here on the 16th.
Holyn currently sitting on the hot round of the card, but this will drop her back.
That's a solid bogey save.
Very strong cleanup there. Do not want to let a hole like 16 turn into a double on you. Definitely a hole you want to birdie, but it is specific and it can be punishing.
Ooh, Valerie pushed that one a little right side, but the outside chains pulled her back in. Kat Mertsch tapping in a bogey. She says she's going to go for something more stable.
I'd say that'd be a good call, Kat. 'Cause I thought she was inside and she still found herself too far to the right.
And what a treat we have for you on this incredible new hole, number 17. Check out this beauty. We've got this incredible new bridge on the left, and look at this grassy fairway. Absolutely love it. Got this beautiful tunneled tree shot here. We're actually playing this red basket, which is a new pin position for us this year. 305 foot par 3. It's a great birdie to get here on the 17th. Mandujano up first. It's a bit low. She's in the middle, and she could give it a long jumper from there. Look, it's my friend Felix. Hi, Felix. Kat Mertsch up second.
Needed hyzer out of the hand, played it flat, drifts to the right. Another makeable uphill putt.
This is such a simple shot. You really just want to sneak it right up there to the koozie.
Holyn too far inside, but far enough to be a-okay. Finds herself closest to the basket.
Mandujano sends a jumper up there, but doesn't connect. She'll have to settle for a drop-in par. Let's see if Mertsch can get another long putt to drop. Get herself a third birdie here on the back nine. Love it!
Wow. Climbs over the rim there.
Flight Factory run back. Kat Mertsch birdie putt.
Gave it everything with that leg kick and gets it to stick.
That nub kind of pushed it back in there.
She's had a couple dancing on that rim today. Willing herself into the basket.
Holyn Handley for birdie. Another solid putt out of her. Erase that mistake from the hole before, and she is back to 6 under par. That'll leave Kat Mertsch at 3 under par. Valerie Mandujano at 5 under par. The final hole coming up.
We started with the easiest hole in the course, and we will be finishing with the hardest. Will we see a birdie? Will we see a bogey? Find out next. Hole 18 is going to be our second and final par 5 of the course. 905 feet. Hopefully we don't have a 200 foot par 5. This one plays well up the hill the entire way. After a day of climbing up the hills, one last go at it. If you can clear that bush that we flew past a second ago on your second shot, you'll give yourself a manageable approach. Out of bounds left the entire way throughout this hole really comes into play if you try to cut the distance.
Yeah, Kat! Woo!
Kat Mertsch landing on the left side of the fairway. If you have a game plan together for this hole, you might want to determine if you're going to land on the left or right side of the fairway. And I'm talking all the way down. There's different ways to attack this hole. It might be easier on the left or the right side, depending if you're playing for birdie or par.
Yeah, that tree Holyn played kind of straight at is the one Holly's talking about. Whether you get left or right of it kind of shapes your next shot. And we got a very enthusiastic fan back here cheering our players on.
This is Mandujano's second shot. And it looks like she's going to the left of the bush, and that's out of bounds.
Wow.
And I've seen her play this hole before. Usually she does a little chip hyzer. She sends it sort of at the bush, a really low shot, and she lands between the OB and the bush, and she tries to play the hole for birdie.
Yeah, maybe she was trying to get like flat on that and just came out hyzer.
That's what I was thinking. And Holyn Handley with a giant spike hyzer, and you see the bush she landed past? That's really the bush that you want to beat. You need to be either on one side or the other, and that'll give you a nice open shot into the green or a nice open approach to play for par.
Yeah, the center of that bush plays at about 345 feet, maybe 15 feet up the hill power-wise, so if you can clear it, you're inside 360 feet with a chance.
And Kat Mertsch is very much on the left side of the bush, and getting that far past it is incredible on your second shot.
Fights through the bush and nice little triumphant roar.
And this is Valerie's fourth shot. That's looking a bit low, but it's in a great spot. And from here, Holyn can send her shot all the way into the green.
This is a big power forehand. Takes a lot of trust to hang it out over the bleachers.
Oh, it needs to go. It needs to go. The paywall. Oh, the paywall. Those signs. You got to think about that when you're sending stuff over the out of bounds. Player error on Holyn's part. And Kat Mertsch opting for a turnover shot, even though she has a forehand on deck as well.
Masterfully thrown there with that maybe MD1, MD3, not sure what that is exactly.
Valerie sends a putter into the green.
No.
Testing the OB.
Good thing that sun has the grass a little scorched, so it kind of just slithered with the spin there.
And Holyn shorts her upshot a bit, sneaks barely inside the circle, and that's going to be a lengthy finishing putt.
She's had some really good holes and a few mistakes sprinkled throughout, but still playing a solid round.
And Valerie, what an incredible display of putting she is giving us all day since hole 1. She's finished the round 4 under par.
Only 2 holes played at bogey or above. Pretty clean for Valerie.
A great bogey save out of Holyn Handley, and that'll put her at 5 under par for the first round of the Des Moines Challenge.
Kat looking to take the only birdie on the card, bringing herself to 4 down. The entire card played a pretty respectable round, a couple mistakes for each of them, but everyone scored enough birdies to put themselves in a spot to be in contention.
Let's take a look at the top 10 leaderboard. After the first day, Emily Beach and Kristen Tatar find themselves tied in first place. Paige Pierce in third. Macy Villa-Diaz and Holyn Handley in fourth place.
If you liked watching Valerie and Holyn play today, we'll be seeing them again tomorrow. So it should be a fun time out here at the Des Moines Challenge. Don't forget to follow myself and Holly on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channels.
And we've both got some Tour Series discs, some fairway drivers if you need a stack of them. The link is in the description. We appreciate you guys tuning in to this sunny afternoon. And if you're going to be out at the course tomorrow, please come up and say hi. We would love to sign your discs, shake your hand, and meet some fans.
Tomorrow's weather looks sketchy. Let's hope we'll be calling the shots tomorrow night.